selecting the proper weight, a step-by-step formula, and a real-time demonstration. To complete this process, we need 3 pieces of information. Number 1, we need to know what exercise we're performing. Number 2, we need to know the proper form and technique of the exercise. And number 3, we need to know the prescribed number of repetitions per set of the exercise. Once we have these 3 pieces of information, we can move on to the step-by-step process. Step number 1, set number 1. Our objective is to go light. We want to be able to complete the number of prescribed repetitions with relatively little bit of effort. This serves 2 purposes. Number 1, it gives us a safe starting point. Number 2, it serves as a warm-up set. Once you completed this warm-up set, we can now move on to step number 2, which is where we'll add some weight to the exercise. General guidelines: upper body exercises, adjust the weight in 5-pound increments. Lower body exercises, adjust the weight in 10-pound increments. Now that we've added some weight, let's move on to step number 3. Here's where we start to think about perfect form and technique. We want to complete the number of prescribed repetitions with perfect form and technique. Once we've finished it, let's judge the difficulty. From here, we can repeat steps 2 and 3 to find the proper weight. So now we got to figure out, well, how do we determine what the proper weight is? Left side of the board, we'll see 2 determinants that we'll look for when selecting the proper weight. Number 1 is your tempo. So the last 1 to 2 of your prescribed reps, you'll see your tempo start to slow down as the weight becomes more challenging. The second, although the weight and your tempo slows down, becomes challenging, your form and technique will remain perfect throughout each rep. Now, what does that look like in real time? Let's go through it. So, exercise we're going to perform. This is the machine chest press. I've been instructed on a proper form and technique. The prescribed repetitions to me is 3 reps. So I'll start out picking a light weight. I'll put 25 pounds. I'll get into my beginning position. Chest up, elbows down a little bit. I'll press out for 3 reps. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. So tempo didn't slow down. I kept good form and technique. It was relatively easy. I feel warmed up. I have a good starting point. Now I go to step number 2. Dealing with upper body exercise, being a chest press. Let's add 5 pounds. Going from 25 pounds to 30. Now I'll go back into my starting position and I press the weight out. 1, 2, and 3. Kept the tempo, didn't slow down. Form and technique stayed in good shape. Now I want to add 5 more pounds to it. So going from 30 pounds to 35 pounds. Now I'll show you what it looks like when you've selected the proper weight. So we're going to go to our determinants. We're going to look at tempo and we're going to look at form. Before my 3 reps, I'm going to push it out. Start to feel some tension build up in the chest, triceps, front of my shoulders, so I know that I'm working the correct muscles. Press out for 2. Still feel a nice tension in the targeted muscles. Now going into my 3rd rep, you'll see, all right, my tempo starts to slow. Now the weight's becoming challenging, but I'm keeping good form. I'm able to go into full extension and I'm able to control the weight as I bring it back. So I completed 3 successful reps. My tempo slowed down, but I was able to keep perfect form throughout each repetition. Now I know that 35 pounds for 3 reps is the correct weight for me, and now I have a working weight to start with. Now, what does that look like if I were to choose a weight that was too heavy? So say I tried another set, I went to 40 pounds. Feeling good? Trying 40 pounds. So now I go into my 3 reps. Beginning position, I'll press out for 1. Feeling good tension in my chest, triceps, front of the shoulder. First rep was good. No tempo slowed down. Form and technique stayed good. Now I'm starting to slow down as I get to the full extension of my elbows, but I'm still keeping good technique, able to control the weight in. Now I'm going to my 3rd rep, which is my final prescribed rep. I take it out there, tempo slowing, and now I slide forward a little bit. Maybe I push a little bit more with my left hand. I'm leaning to, my form is compromised. This set is done. I drop the weight down, boom. I take my ego off and I set it to the side. I say 40 pounds was too much. So I drop the weight back down to 35 pounds where I completed 3 successful reps. Biggest takeaway when it comes to resistance training, finding the proper weight, is in the bottom left-hand corner of our whiteboard, and that is always work with quality over quantity. Quality meaning high quality reps, perfect form with each repetition, as opposed to doing more weight than I'm able to do and compromising the quality of each rep. So as your coach, I want to see you weight training for as long as you want to. In order to keep you safe, you need to keep this principle in mind. High quality, perfect reps over too much weight. Keep that in mind. Keep progressing. Make sure we're getting results. That's what we want to see. See you next time.